Welcome to Hockey Nation live show with Coach Frenchy and Michael Devellano somewhere, somehow, in West Coast, California. How you doing, Michael?
I am ready to talk about hockey like usual.
Here we go. First of all, we want to welcome all the Hockey Nation fans. We want to open up more to, don't forget to subscribe to our new Facebook page under Hockey Nation. You can see the little logo on my left shoulder. That's when you're going to see this on Facebook. Just click on it. And also, we have a new YouTube channel. It's called Hockey Nation Live. We are doing more recording every day about fun things going on. Update example. Yesterday we talked about Montreal Canadiens trade for with the Blues for Jake Allen. We went live after that, and then also we did another recording yesterday about the game between Dallas, Colorado. So usually at 11 o'clock we're going to change a little bit the format, not talking too much about the game, but you have a chance to hear more about us. Just go there and subscribe, and we're going to sharing every day at 11 a.m. Eastern Time, 8 a.m. at Pacific Time about hockey NHL playoff, and maybe we're going to add more continents with Junior, and because Michael, if you don't know, he's a scout in a WHL with Everett Silver Stip. All right.
Yeah, we should have won the Memorial Cup this year.
Here we go. Let's see. Hopefully they will start back to play
I,
hockey,
I
right?
don't I don't know what's going on. It's not great.
I talking about this before we jump on the game. I spoke with my people in Quebec, and they start a couple of days ago the training camp and junior, so they
Where
are
for the
back
Q?
slowly, and yeah, QM, yeah,
They started training camp.
yeah.
Wow, that's really interesting because I don't think we're starting until November for the W, and it's really unclear. Like we have 5 U.S. teams,
Yep.
so I have a feeling the U.S. teams will all end up playing each other all year because of the Canadian border and
Talking about this, all right, that's when we talked about this a couple of days ago. Uh, about possible the NHL have only one division only, um,
the
Canadian
final. You
team.
mean?
Yeah,
Oh yeah,
Canadian
for the
team. So it's possible happening. A lot of discussion right now, and I want to talk more about the trade Jake Allen because
yeah, me too.
you're going to realize why this is great for Montreal. And but let's go back. Let's talk about the game last night where. Um, we said at the beginning when we started this show a couple of weeks ago, and then now 2020 is unbelievable, right? You know what
Yeah,
I mean? Like send the
it's
virus, everything like that, right?
one wacky
So
thing after the other.
everything's going on in life right now. It's like, oh my God, this is like crazy, right? So another fact of 2020, it's a back-to-back win by Michael Hutchinson.
What the hell's going on?
You know what I mean? Like every expert had no clue.
uh,
You know what I mean? That's the story right now. And maybe if he win the next one and they move on to round number three, that would be like that's the story of the playoff
yeah,
2020.
it's bizarre. So you know what? It's interesting. So I looked back. I remember Michael back when he played for the Barrie Colts, and then he got traded his last year to the London Knights. He was a pretty good goalie in the OHL, and then he actually, he kind of came up through the ranks. If you look back, he actually had a pretty good record with Winnipeg for a while. And I remember when he was coming up, there we had high hopes for him, but it never really panned out. But he had one stretch. I think he was 23-11.
Yeah, if you remember, he was with Providence and AHL with
Right.
Tuka Rask.
Was that the Friars?
Um, no, but the picture I saw yesterday, he was with a Providence AHL
Oh,
2011.
the AHL team, the Bruins.
Yep.
Yeah, so you're right, because Tuukka Rask was down there. And then he played with the Reading Royals a little bit in the
Yep.
E.
Then after that, he
Um,
got traded.
it's funny, I forgot that he was drafted I always thought he was drafted by someone else. But yeah, I guess it was Boston. Then he went to Winnipeg.
Yep. That's why he have a couple of years. I don't know if you have the stat in front of you, but
Yeah,
he did
he was
not.
pretty good.
that was not too bad after that. You know,
He was never like you look at in Winnipeg, the first year he was 21-10, like I was saying. Now he went 9-15 and 9-12, but he was it wasn't like he was playing the bulk of the games. It was Andre Pavelek was probably the goalie then, right?
yeah.
Yeah, Andre Pavelek was the goalie. So he was the number one goalie in those days. So he played number two to him. So, we kind of tease and joke that he's an AHL goalie, but he's played 130 NHL games.
Well, I think the effect of Michael, I'll be honest with you, is that the situation he got in Toronto with no win back.
You always suck in Toronto. Everybody in
I
Toronto
mean,
sucks.
no, but my point is like, you know what I mean?
You're
Like,
never going to be good
is the
enough for Toronto.
story follow him all the
Right.
way, and then he went to
Totally.
Florida, and it was the same way in Florida, and so at the end of the day, let's go back on that game. We talked about this last night, and
That was
um,
insane.
you know what I mean? Like it was the first game I said to you, and one fact I want to remind you: the first four game of the series, Dallas scored 19 goals.
Crazy.
Right, the last two game, right, four. That's it.
I
So
mean, I think we were all shocked at how Dallas was playing in the beginning. It was like, how are they doing this? They obviously have depth. I mean, we're seeing guys like Gurianov. We're seeing guys like Rupe Hins again. They can play. And they're big. They're big up front. They got talent. And the defenseman Hezekainen's the star. Like we're seeing Nick Lidstrom as a rookie, right? Or what? Is he a rookie or a sophomore? He's a
two,
sophomore. Hezekainen.
second year.
So, I mean, you're seeing Nick Lidstrom. Like, this is, the second coming. And that draft is incredible because all those guys are from the same draft. Makar, Quinn Hughes, and Hezekainen.
They was talking about him, like, it's good you talk about this, but they was talking about look like another Scott Niedermayer.
yeah, I mean,
You know,
it's like he's such a talented player.
I agree with you. He have one top notch over Glenberg right away, right now. He has
Oh, yeah,
one.
no, he's
You
the
know what I
best
mean?
player in that team.
Yeah.
That's his
So,
team. I mean,
the momentum shift, but that the series has been there since like Dallas play against Calgary at the beginning. You can see that shift, like three goal there, leading down, trail, boom, back again, and whoop, trail again, whoop, back again. It's a team did not play 60 minutes every game. It's a team have not the uh, Kudalin play the best he can, but he's not like
yeah.
that. You can see he's starting to struggle more and more. I
I
think the
mean,
fatigue.
listen, Colorado was on a mission last night.
Oh,
Holy
this is
Christ.
right.
Like,
This is right.
they
Uh,
were like, I've
yes,
never seen them play that tempo for 60 minutes.
I agree. This is really a great call. I agree with you. There was a mission, and I look like you know what? I feel like they decide as a group together. They look at
Totally.
each other and say, you know what? We don't care who is not here right now. We don't care if Gorber's not here. We don't care if Eric Johnson is not here. We don't care
Uh-huh.
about Calvert is not here. What we're going to we care. It's
Honestly.
like we're going to play the best we can be, and that's it. That's the only thing we can control, and that's the
Yeah.
mindset of the game right now. I'm talking about.
Totally. You could
And
see it. Like when you see every shift why Nathan McKinnon is so good.
oh,
He is
oh,
every game that way, right? He's at that other level. Everything's something he's going to win. Whether it's stick handling by you, it's winning a battle on the board, knocking, whatever it is. The rest of the team elevated to that level of intensity and consistency across a game. And when you do that, you're very dangerous. And I feel like they felt like they had to be perfect.
yep.
They were like, we're not going to give these guys an inch.
The
And
only
that's what
thing
they
I would
did.
say to you is their power play did not produce yesterday.
True.
That's the only thing, 0-5, and that's
Yeah.
it. But the rest, they are force-checking, they are speed up, everything like that. And remember, every year the team go far or a team have a great success, always one player pull out. And you remember those times of Wayne Gretzky, Mike Messier with the Rangers, and you can go all the way. Every year they have one player, what I mean, you can go like, Corey Crawford a couple years ago, then you got Patrick Kane, then the Connie Smythe always there. But right now, McKinnon is making a name print on HOF. That's what he's doing right now. He's a next future Hall of Fame. He's
Oh, Oh yeah. I
You know what I
mean,
mean?
so it's funny because I feel like when you watched him, he had a little bit of success, he had a little bit of injuries. He had Ryan O'Reilly on that team originally with Matt Duchene. Like
Yep.
there's a few guys there, and he was young, and he's trained with Sidney Crosby since a very young age.
Yep.
And I would watch him and I didn't understand. I'm like, God, this guy should be the best player in the game, but they were almost writing him off. And I give a lot of credit again to Joe Sakic, and we all doubted Joe Sakic when they finished last, and then they ended up getting Makar, even though they got screwed in the draft. Some way to get screwed, get Makar, right? And then they were criticizing the Makar pick because guys ahead of him were playing, right?
Yep.
Now, I mean, you've seen McKinnon go from a 50-point player to a 100-point player, and he dominates every shift. And he plays the way Crosby plays, which is intensity all the time, right? Like, and he's a tank. So it's a special player. We're really fortunate to see that. And you got to watch Colorado, man. They're a great team to watch. Like you got Rantanen and Makar, and there's a lot going on there.
No, the discussion was about Lestergaard injury. Now, if you pay attention to the game,
Oh, and this
and
card?
I didn't mention yesterday, yeah, he came back on the ice to celebrate with his teammates.
Did he?
Yeah.
And that's
So
the captain, right? Like he's
So
a good
yeah,
player. Like
so that's my point here. So now that don't tell us the injury situation with him, right? But he came back, and that show the character. That show right now that team is like they are together, and that's maybe the advantage they have right now for the next game.
yeah,
That's
and I
what I
guess he's got a
feel.
cut leg, right?
Yeah, and I believe like, and again, we go to say that because we think it's always this way, and then who knows what's gonna happen because it's 2020. I believe if Colorado score first goal, the second goal, I
Yeah.
think could be the end. But again, the
I
others
don't
could
know.
be sleep for 30 minutes and then come back with three
Boom,
goals
boom,
back to
boom,
back
because
to
they
back.
score in bunches, right?
Yeah,
I
talking
I think
about
it was just I think it was just last thing is it was telling that the announcers were going like, God, they got to get Ben and Sagan going. And we were talking about it yesterday on our broadcast at night. Like, they were played very little compared to what you should play your top players. Like right now, they've got faith in Pavelski and Janmark apparently, which I don't, not that Janmark's a bad player, but you've got to get those
that
guys
was something.
going.
That's something I don't understand yet. I check again this morning because I say, you know what? Maybe they have a problem. They make a mistake with the time
Yeah,
with people, right? He played
problems on the bench.
21 minutes. 21 minutes is with short and dirt. But again, you talk about a 2 minute overall versus Seguin and Radulov. That's
I
something I don't get it honestly.
no,
But
makes sense.
again, that's Rick Bonner's team, and
Well,
we'll see. They
I don't
talk
know for how
about
much longer.
yeah. So we'll see what happened with that one over there. So 4-1 for Colorado yesterday, and we talk about the goal from Ratinen score again yesterday. That's
Yeah.
another. I think it was the sixth of the season.
He's
I'm
got like
not there.
11
I'm
or
coming
12
there.
assists. Like, has he got 20 points?
Seven. It's seven, and then McKinnon nine, and then
Wow.
Makar four, and then Zatorov is third, and Eskinen
Zadorov.
Eskinen scored the fifth. He opened up the score and the first period at 17:35. Overall, we said it was almost an average. You know what I mean? Like Dallas 28 versus 24 shot, 50-50, 0-5-0-1 on power play. Hit 28-45. Dallas continued to physically physical. 26 shot blocked by Dallas. That show how much Colorado have 50 shot versus
Lots of.
yeah. So we'll see what happened there. We're going to have a chance to come back with that, game number 7 at the end of the tomorrow. We're going to talk about this, but I want to jump right away on the two big game tonight. Honestly, it's two teams face to elimination, Flyers and Vancouver. On the flip side, that two team Islanders Vegas can move on to round number 3. Um, what do you think about the first of all with Philadelphia and Islanders, and what do you think who's going to be in the pipe for the Islanders?
I mean, I think you're crazy if you don't go with Varlamov. I don't understand why you wouldn't, but they they might switch it up. They're not playing back to back, so I think you go with Varlamov. Definitely Carter Hart in the other net. That's like a no brainer.
Yeah,
Um, I think we saw more from Philly. in the end, it's going to be up to Ken Carter keep the puck out. Like if it's or will Philadelphia's breakdowns hit them? The key for Islanders is stay off of the power, PK. Like they've got to make sure they don't, and they've been really disciplined. Um, Man, does Giroux score another couple? Like, if Giroux is going, then they're in good shape.
Yeah,
Is
before we
Couturier out
yeah, so
and
my point,
Barzell's
was
out?
bring to you this. I was asking you this. Like I checked this morning at 10:30. I want to couple it. You can check a couple of website. Excuse me, to find who is updated, everything like that, injuries. But so now, right now, is a game decision between for Barzell and Couturier. So it's a game decision. Um, for Couturier, if he's not a dress up, it's going to be Michael Ralph,
Raffle?
yeah, Raffle, and then Islander it was Oli Volutin or something like that. I'm not remember
Ooh,
exactly his name. Oli something. I'm not remember his last name. I should, but I did
never
not.
even heard of him.
So they have a game decision about that. My point to you before we go deeper on that game, I believe Barcel is going to missing more for the team versus Couturier. Whatever is Couturier is a good,
For
top,
sure.
top, but I think Barcel bring more on the concept
For
structure for the
sure.
team. Um,
Absolutely. If you don't have Barzal, then you're going to find out how bad Eberle is. Like,
Now they are
Eberle's
thinking now.
contributions are going to
They
go
are
crazy.
thinking now to bring Peugeot on that line and
I,
then moving up. Um, so that
yeah,
would be another
I,
one to
I
check
guess,
about that.
but I mean, they seem to have a lot of faith in Eberle, and I really don't. To me,
Yeah,
it's like if you got Nelson and Lee and Bailey, they can do the job. Beauvillier's done the job. I think if Broussard's healthy, Pajot's been playing great. And then that fourth line, like you get a lot of leadership and ice time out of Sezikis and Martin and Komarov. I mean,
they bring up Zizikas
and then
and
Clutterbuck.
Dazzling. So we'll see what happened there. On the flip side, Couture is out. Now they have a little bit structure. They maybe bring back Giroux on the center, and
See,
then
that's
maybe
that's a
move.
big point, right? They've been playing him on the wing.
Yeah.
That might
So
really help Philadelphia.
So I will be honest with you, my prediction tonight, I go back with Islanders, but here's the
Yeah,
point. The only way Flyers can win tonight, they need goals from the three best scorer for
for
the team.
sure.
That's if
Giroux's
they
got to
don't
wake
score.
up.
If I'm telling you now, if Giroud don't score, GVR don't score, Koenig don't score, I will go with Kevin Ace. Kevin Ace have like 22, 23
Yeah.
goals this year, right? So
Did
I'm
he?
not
Yeah.
talking about if Couturier is out, right? Or is
Yeah.
in. If he does not score, if they don't get two or three goals of them, it's over.
Yeah. I mean, that's just a given. This, I don't know. Like, you might be okay. They might be okay with Couturier out if Giroux goes to center. And you're gonna see guys like, do they play Farabee more? Farabee's played real well.
You have a good playoff.
Um, yeah. You know who I would play is I would put in Morgan Frost. Is he there?
So he is on the discussion between. So there's a good.
Oh,
No,
you're on
he
mute.
did not play yet. He's
Okay.
on the bubble player with him
Oh, is he?
and Michael Raffle. So
Man, Morgan Frost he was like, wasn't he the leading scorer in the OHL? Like he's a real talented player.
he's a good. Yeah, yeah. So we'll see about
Hey,
that one
so you're
over
going with
there.
the Islanders tonight?
What?
You're saying the Islanders tonight?
Yeah.
I say if Barzal's out, then the Flyers win.
Now, the only thing I would say to you, they need to have a better structured team. I think
Yeah,
if Barzo's not there, I believe they would play not better, and not say that.
more
They
structured.
would
Yeah.
play more
I agree.
together, like something like that. Um, I would not be surprised they bring Thomas Grease in the net.
No, I think you might be right. I mean, they have a lot of faith in both guys.
So
I don't. I
here's the
don't think.
point. Here's why I said this. If they lose, they play back, right? It's a back-to-back game. So I believe they will bring after that Varlamov to game number 7.
Hmm.
So that's my point. Now, if they lose tonight with Varlamov, now they have to figure out again what they are going to do. next game, game number 7, I think it will be harder for the team to do that. So I apologize if they win the game. The next game is only September 5th. I want to be sure. It's a DBA at what time, but it's only September 5th, Saturday. They don't play tomorrow night. Uh, so that would be the reason
Yeah,
why.
they're gonna have time off, right? So I don't know.
Yeah,
I mean, if it's me, I go Varlamov, but you might be right. They might go Grice. I don't know.
yeah. So you okay? Sound good. So you go with Flowers if Barzal is
If
not
Barzal's
there.
out, then I say Flyers win.
Okay. All right. Let's move on to game number 2 of the night at 9:45.
Oh my
Um,
God, I have no idea what's going on.
Vegas. Vegas versus Vancouver.
Is Demko back in the net? I mean, you should put Demko back in the net.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
Is Markstrom hurt? Do we know what's going on with that?
Yeah. It's groin
It's his
injury.
groin. That's right. You said
Yeah,
that.
couple of days. So I believe right now because the performance of um, Demko, I think they will be back with him. I think they will go back also with Leonard. I don't
Hmm.
see Flurry there.
No, I think you're
Um,
right. Leonard
that's
played really well last
yeah.
game.
My only concern right now. So if Van is Vegas win, is Vancouver win tonight? They play tomorrow night back to back game. So just let just
We've seen teams go 5 overtimes, so we're good.
I'm absolutely right with you. Anyway, is a destination. I go tonight with Vegas. I think last
Yeah.
game, Vegas what the only thing Vegas did not do
Vegas
last game.
dominated.
The only thing they did not do last game, it did not win the game.
Yeah, because they did everything on the ice to win that game.
The
I
only
mean, they
thing is
played, they way outplayed Vancouver. That ain't happening twice in
the
a row.
goalie. He was like he
Oh,
was
he was
looked like
awesome.
Martin brother and Ashek and those guys. The goalie at the that level. So
He's good. He's a good goalie. Like I've watched him for a long time. So I'm happy he had a good game. I think you're probably right. I think Vegas pulls it out. If they play the way they did last game, they're gonna rip it up at some point.
yeah. But again, I think
No,
Vegas is going to get there.
I
I
think
don't
so. I
see
think Vegas will win.
they have any other chance. I look at I look around. They have no information more about like to know about the situation for well
March,
yeah
Markstrom.
Markstrom, but otherwise same lineup. Nothing was said. Oh no, this guy cannot play. It was just this situation for them. So we'll see what happens tonight. I go with Vegas. I'll be honest with you. I
Yeah,
think
I'm
that they
saying.
will be off. I think like you right. I think maybe Flyers can surprise tonight again, but I will believe Vegas will be over. I think that Vegas
Yeah, I
will
think
take
Vegas
that
will be
one away.
done. I if Barzal's not in, then Philly's definitely got an advantage, even with Couturier out.
This is right. I'm agree with you. Let's move on to the next. Let's go back a little bit about the stats in NHL. So go before we move the update. McKinnon back again. Back again. He was already in, but he had 2 more points now. He's at 25. Rettenen is second on the points with 20.
So we I don't know. We said this yesterday. I don't know if we said it on air, but the last guy to get 25 points in 14 playoff games was Wayne Gretzky.
Yep.
I mean, this is a much tighter era, much more depth in the NHL, much bigger players, much better goalies.
Yep.
And this guy just matched what happened in 1993.
Yep.
Wow, like the guy's McKinnon's like amazing. And then
He have a
Ranton's no
good
problem.
run right now. But if talking about him, he got his 14th straight um, game. He joined the top. He is
It's crazy.
so he's at 14 right now. He has also on the goal. He has like 9 goals with Bo Horvat. They are number one in the NHL with 9. And on the assists, we have again McKinnon is also dominate for assists with
Great.
16. So McKinnon, Rantanen, that's dominate there, and we have to give credit to Miko Miro Eskinen. He's the first
Oh my
defenseman on
God.
19 points. We have to mention Peterson, Elias Peterson is 18 point with Brendan Point, and Nazem Kadri is at 16 after that. But one
How
thing I
good is
want
that
to,
draft? That 2017 draft is like maybe the greatest draft.
one point we need to remember, like G.D. Miller, 16.2.
Holy crap. Like, come on. If
Yeah.
you're the Island of the Rangers, aren't you kicking yourself?
Well, he trade to Tampa. Tampa trade him because of the salary problem there. Um,
Well,
so,
I
um,
get I get the Tampa thing, like they're stacked, but like if you're the Rangers, you could have just you had this guy.
yeah,
What'd
is
you
it the
get
trade
for
with
him?
Martin St. Louis? No.
Was it? No.
No, where was the trade that one?
Oh, let's look. Hold on.
I think it
Now
was
I
the
got-
first pick.
Let's see.
It was not with Ryan McDonough.
Yeah, so with McDonough to Tampa for a bunch of pucks, like literally a bunch of pucks.
Yeah.
Igor Hasek, Brett Howden, Nemenstikov, who they also let go, a first round pick who they picked Niels Lundqvist. Is he a goalie? And then a second round pick was Carl Henriksen. They got nothing.
Yep.
Yeah, Lundqvist is a defenseman. He's playing in Sweden, Swedish Elite League. And then the other guy, let's take a look who they drafted. Because it's nobody. It's Carl Henriksen. Like, who the hell's that? He played for Frölunda.
It was the year
He,
where the Rangers wanted to quit everything. Like they sent a letter to the fans, everything like that. They want to restart over.
he had four, like, why? He had 40 points in 63 games before he was traded. And then he had 10 goals in 19 games for Tampa. Like,
Yeah.
this guy can play.
Yep. So anyway, move on to the defenseman. Mikko Eskinen is 19 point. We have to mention also three defensemen right there: Theodore Mekar and Quinn Hughes. They are 14, 15, 15. Very good player for all those. And the good thing about this, we talk about the young rookie star and the ones going to push the NHL higher level and the great hockey players coming down, they're up. Quinn Hughes and Cal McCarr. They are two rookies, so it's fun. It's great for the hockey to see those kids, perform at the playoff, and they do very well for their team. So that's nice to see that for the NHL. To be honest with you.
Yeah, it's amazing watching all these kids that are 20 to 23. Like, just, the old man is McKinnon. He just turned 25 the other day.
I know that's crazy.
There's so many great young players. It's such an exciting time.
Are you ready for the? So you ready for some update?
Let's do it.
Let's go. We're going to have a couple news for you. Check this. Here we go. We have music before we go. All the news update and NHL go around all the team with update for September 3rd, 2020. We don't have any signature, Michael, the last 24 hours. No players got signature. I'm going to bring you left to right. So I'm going to give you a couple of things. I have a couple news from Pierre Lebrun, and then we're going to go something like what I got from other site. And like you said earlier, and I mentioned to you, Sean Couturier and Matthew Barzal are not out of game decision. Only before the game, pre-game. Fly is going to bring Oscar Lindholm on the ice warm up, but
Oh, good.
he's not going to play yet. He's not ready, but it's good to see him. McKinnon hit his 14th straight game point, and that's pretty amazing. The run he's doing right now, you just mentioned to all the fans of Hockey Nation about him. So can't wait to see that game. See tomorrow what's going to happen with them. Um, from Boston Bruins side, Pasnak played with a lower body injury in the last 4 games.
Not surprising.
So that can understand a bit. You remember he was out a couple of games.
Yeah, he missed, so I'm
Yeah,
not really
and
surprised.
then he came back, but though you know how this work in playoff. People, a lot of
There's
people
no
have injuries with that. I think you mentioned to us at some point you thought maybe Bergeron have an injury too.
Oh, for sure. He was.
Remember? So
Yeah,
we're
he
gonna
was.
see this at nowhere, but That's
He's not going
so
to tell you. He's just
yeah.
going to play through it. Like guys like, you know what hockey players are like. They're not get. They want to play. Look at
We
what's
did,
going on right now. They could have stayed home.
yeah, exactly. So it's that's the situation there. Talking about Pittsburgh Pens signature, we only talking about two assistant coaches signed up yesterday.
Weird.
Todd Reardon from Washington Capitals got fired a couple of days ago, and he's moving up with Pence and Mike Sullivan, and then Mike Vellucci
Yeah.
is going to take care about also for the team over there. So it's a new signature with them,
He was
and
the GM in their AHL team, right?
what?
I think he was the general manager of their AHL team. Felucci?
Cannot recall it to be honest with you.
Yeah, I think he was.
Um, if you want to hear about Ottawa loan to Mirotic Juricic and Finland Hockey League, I'm sorry for the pronunciation of the name. They loan Vitali Abranov. They
Oh,
sent
Brandon.
him loan to Finland. It's a young kid. I think he's 20, 21, 22, I believe. So he's going to be loaned to the team in Finland and see about that part of there.
Oh,
I want to mention a couple of things. I want you to give us to all the Hockey Nation fans what do you think about that. So Pierre DeBrun sit with the Athletic website. You write something and then you talk about, we talked yesterday about the 20 trade bait NHL create by TSN.
yeah.
We talked about the 20 player yesterday. Uh, I'm 1, 2, 3, 4. I'm going to give you 5 players. LeBron talk and tell me what you think. So you
Okay.
talk about the situation with Winnipeg Jets, Patrick Lane, and he tried to match up with the team, and they was talking about why Carolina could open up the door for Patrick Lane. So they was talking about it's
Oh,
impossible to trade Slavin over there,
no, they're not
right?
chasing. You think they're
So
going to trade Slavin?
yeah,
They
it's
would trade
impossible
Hamilton
for
before Slavin.
Winnipeg to get Dougie Hamilton.
Yeah, that's more likely, only because Dougie's always a weird fit in the dressing room. He's kind of a cerebral guy, and he doesn't really go out with the guys. Winnipeg Line was the line mate of Aho, and if you recall, when you had Aho, Rantanen was a year older, but you had Rantanen, Aho, Line, and Puya Harvey, and those guys were ridiculous for
Yes.
Finland. That might be the greatest World Junior team ever for Finland. So reuniting those two, and I think what we realize is how good Aho is
Yeah.
on his own. But if you put Lining with him, that might be a 60-goal guy.
So think about both GM, like fit your shoes on both sides. Now, if you think Carolina will talking to Winnipeg and they was put Pitchy, the defenseman.
You know what? You might be right. They would put either any of those 3 defensemen, Pesci, Slavin, or Hamilton. If you're going to get Line and reunite him with Aho, he's no worse than 30 goals.
So
That's the worst year.
he was said they would not Carolina would not want to have Lane with Slavin. The deal would not happening because
They don't want to give
Carolina
up
don't want to
Slavin.
trade Slavin.
Yeah, that doesn't surprise me.
On the flip side, Winnipeg said we don't want Hamilton.
Nobody wants him.
Right? So I will ask you this: if you are Winnipeg, you trade Laney, and I send you what's his name, the defenseman number 4, uh, Pressy,
Brett
yeah,
Pesci.
yeah, and Vincent Tracek, and I'm going to read another second round pick with 3 players, and you trade for Laney.
I would
What
do
you
that.
said for Winnipeg?
I would
Yes or
do that.
no?
Yeah, I would do that because Trocheck restricted free agent?
It's we still have 2 more years at $4 million.
Oh, that's a deal. He's totally a second line centerman. Do they need a second line centerman?
Yes.
Probably, right? Like I think they do. Um, yeah, I would totally do that. I think that if you like Pesci is underrated. He's a very good defenseman. He's a big guy. He can skate. He's not going to get you a lot of points, but he's effective. So that's not he's probably a number 3 or a 4. Does Winnipeg need a number 3 or a 4? Questionable. But I would think, I think what we're seeing in the playoffs is depth matters, and their big guns are Scheifele. You got to keep Kyle Connor. You've got the other big guy, Wheeler, right? Like, so they've got a lot of firepower up front without Line A. I think you really consider doing it. Maybe if they bump it up to a first.
Because they need
Project a
defensemen.
first and Pesci.
They need defensemen. You know what I mean?
Who does? Winnipeg?
Yeah.
Winnipeg's defense is better than we thought.
But they need one. They mentioned they need more. They lost, like, since they lost Myers, Tropa, Tampa, and a
But
big
you know what? Pionk, I think, might be better than Truba.
who?
Pionk, the guy
Yeah,
they
but
got
that's
from the
that's your
Rangers.
number one right now,
Pionk's your number 1? No, it's not. Josh Morrissey's your number 1.
but not on the chart, on the depth chart and the play
Really?
game.
Well, I mean, Pionk is definitely better than we thought, right? Like, I
Have a
think we
good
were like,
season. He have
who?
a good
And
season. He have a lot of. He's a good
well,
offensive player. Do you
yeah,
think do you feel he looked like Tony Crook?
Torrey Krug, he's a little bigger, but yeah,
Do you feel like he's the same kind of players, like offensive, carry on the puck, and be good on power play,
he's
and
got that
kind of.
ability. I think he's pretty good defensively. So yeah,
I don't say like
definitely
exactly
bigger.
like what I mean. Like, I
Yeah,
don't
he's
say it's
definitely
about
bigger.
him, about Crook, but I just say that kind of players. The next thing is about that one over there. The number two, Frederick Anderson, is really on talking everywhere about maybe he's moving up. He's
Do it.
moving, and now why
Oh, hey,
Toronto?
wait. You know what? You know who you think about? Can you get Roslovic in the deal for Carolina?
Yeah, that would be another big.
That would tip it the other way. But so to your point, Freddie Anderson. So, like, I don't understand all the talk about Anderson. It's not like he's a bad goalie. He's a top 15 goalie. What are you going to get? Who's the other goalie?
Matt Murray.
Do you really think Matt Murray at this point is better than Anderson?
They don't say it's better. So
He's more
the point
experienced.
for them is moving up. They believe
Yeah. They
what
want
Anderson
championship.
did for them. They want to change the chemistry. They want to change.
I agree.
It's good to have refreshing everything like that. The great thing
I would do that.
the great thing
But
about
why didn't they get Murray as part of the Kapanen deal? That doesn't make sense to me. Like, what do they
so
want? What
the
does
good thing
Pittsburgh?
about Frederick Anderson.
Yeah,
Frederick Anderson have a contract of $5 million salary cap,
it's cheap.
but this year he's only on 1 million. They
What?
already paid the $4 million on his signature bonus. So anything get him right now, they get him for $1 million on their
That's a,
salary
that's a,
cap.
that's a steal.
So if Toronto is open up to do something like that, they get a defenseman can play with O'Reilly or a top defenseman. I think they will open up more the discussion about that one over there, to get
So
that.
right now, who's talking about him? Like, is it Carolina's talking about him? Who else? Pittsburgh? No, not Pittsburgh.
For
Pittsburgh.
Anderson, no, they talk about on the West, Calgary, Edmonton.
So what would they get from Calgary?
They will get one of the top defensemen over there, for sure. Um,
Giordano.
no, but not for 1-to-1. I don't want to say that, but I think Anderson.
Well, Anderson would be an upgrade. Like, I think Cam Talbot's a free agent. I don't believe in Cam Talbot. I think Anderson's better than Cam Talbot at this point. Um,
I'm talking about Henderson, the defenseman,
in
and Calgary.
Henderson. Oh, Rasmus Anderson?
Yeah,
Oh, you're not going to get him for Anderson, are you?
why not? Not a 1-to-1, a package deal.
Who's putting in more? Because Anderson's pretty damn good defenseman.
But that, for you get
Or are you
now.
talking? Okay, so you look at it. You got Hannafin, right? Noah Hannafin.
Yeah.
Is that who you're thinking?
No, Anderson.
Rasmus
Rasmus
Anderson.
Anderson.
They've got
I'm on it.
Giordano.
Brody,
Brody's a free agent, right?
yeah, and then Giordano,
And you got Hamannik,
yeah.
and you got guys like Stone and Shillington, and then they got Valimaki, which I assume he's going to be healthy. I
And
mean,
Calgary talk about to trade Johnny Gaudreau. Maybe not this year, but Gaudreau will be gone the year after. And they reflect that over there. Why they said that and then what? Because they can get something good about Gaudreau and the trade. The
keep
second
him
thing
forever.
said, Gaudreau do nothing on the playoff. Like every year he don't
Yeah.
produce. And you know what? They may be right because
He had
the team
7 points in 10 games. What am I missing?
is because they feel like he's not carrying the team he was played before, everything like that. That's why they don't see
Okay,
him.
look at his season. He had 58 points in 70 games. He had 4 goals and 7 points in 10 games. It's the same production.
But again, he's not the level what they think they could get a better, bigger winger, a better players compared to what they have from him because they expect he don't bring a lot on the table where
Yeah.
they are more. I'm just
Well,
telling you
he's a
what they
93. He's a 93 born player, so he's not young, right? He's 27 now. So maybe, but you really risk it. I mean, he's had seasons where he's had 99, 78, 84 points. I mean, not many guys get that many points. He's a legit playmaker. He can score. So if you trade him, you run the risk. Like you're right. What would you get for him? If you're Detroit, would you trade your first pick for Goudreau?
know
And
it's not good
that's
enough.
not enough
But you
anyway.
can that Calgary, whatever they do, they need a goalie.
Well, that's given. Like they're
So
gonna
they
get.
have to figure out something. I don't say they would trade Kudrow this year, like right
Yeah, you
now,
think
but it's
sure.
something they can think about this.
I agree.
Let's move on. Matt Murray is really the one goalie is going to be more,
Oh
really
yeah,
more the predictable guy is going to be trade versus
Jerry's
Jerry over there.
moves.
The Pittsburgh want to do it. They are willing now. They opened the discussion with team, everything like that. LeBron talked about the OEL and Arizona. Like you said, why to trade him is a 8 million, everything like that. The point he bring is nothing will happen until they hire a new GM over there. So when the new GM be in place, and talking with Rick Target, everything like that, they will figure out about the situation with OEL. But he have a 10. He has like a restriction 10 team on his contract. Versus, by the way, Vincent Trocek have no restriction about this
Oh
part.
really? Wow.
Yeah. Um,
So if you, okay, so OEL to me, I would make a move on him. That's a guy that you can build around, and you get him out of Arizona, you're gonna see how good he is. So I don't know what are they looking for? Picks and stuff, like picks
Yeah,
or a top
no, nothing really like discussion about that part over there. I think the situation with him is not about his play more, about is like a
contract.
20 30 points for 8.25 million for over 5 6 year. That's something they may be looking for, find someone else. That's what may be more what they're looking for. So right or wrong, I don't know, but I
Yeah.
think it's something they have to look
Again,
about this.
you look at
Uh,
that guy. That's the first. He had 9 goals and 66 games. So okay, great. That's a 13 goal season. That's what he always is.
yeah,
So the talk is crazy. The problem with him is always the minuses, and you don't know is that him?
or the
He
team.
takes he eats or is a team,
Yeah.
right? You have a very good goalie there in Comfort. I don't even know if they're going to bring him back.
We'll see. It's just again, I'm just mentioning what the discussions going on all around the
You
NHL.
know what's interesting about OEL is he ain't young anymore. I didn't realize he's 29.
29.
He's a 91.
Yep.
So he's that same birth year as Tavares. So
The last player to talk is about Doug
oh, he's a 90, he's
Hamilton.
a year younger. Sorry, he's a year younger than Tavares, but yeah.
Doug Hamilton is supposed to have on the trade bait because his contract is become a UFA the following year after that. I think it's always a player where I don't know where it's going to be, but it is on the discussion. We don't have anything right now talking about Hamilton, but if someone could be moved in the next couple of weeks, everything like that. Now, finish this program. I want to talk about two things. First of all, I want to talk about Jake Allen trade. I think you said you want to talk about this.
Yep.
Um, let
Good
me know. Tell me
Good
more
move
about
by Montreal. I mean, I think they got him for very cheap.
that's the overall that everybody said this for Montreal for the what they pay. Many other team, they just shake their head because they said, "Why I could give them for."
I would give him more.
Now,
I mean, I would
on
pay
the
more.
flip side, Montreal have 14 picks.
Right. So they're like,
So one, you
it's
know what I mean?
nothing.
Like it's nothing. They trade
They got a
7-7.
free number 1B goalie because he's
Yeah, yeah.
capable of playing 40, 50 games if you need him.
So that's the one thing over there. Now, the reason Marc Bergevin believed he got him for 1 year.
Oh, that's why then.
Yes, because for him, he believed because he was going to become a UFA after that.
Well, you got Primo too, and then you're
Yeah,
gonna
Primo after that.
Primo's.
Now, here's why another reason why Bergeron believe, and I think that's a great move, and I think it's a great thing. The NHL next season, the 2021, okay? The season's going to be different. It's not going to be an 82 game for expired of 7, 8 months. So they believe they're going to have a lot of game back to back or
Need two goalies.
3 game and 4 nights. They expect so they believe they need a better goalie backup to survive about those nights everything like that. So that was a big discussion because why they said Montreal win more and they beat a lot of teams in NHL right now because now they have two set it now. Yes, $15 million for two guys. You know what I mean? It's a big
So what?
number over there. But for 1 year, I believe they did a good trade over there. On the
It,
flip side, I would say for St. Louis, the Blues, the last they said, remember when they said about Marc-Andre Fleury, how he's a good teammate, is a good
yeah,
guy. Allen was there for 12 years.
yeah.
Allen is the best friend to Alex Pietrangelo. On the flip side, I would say the reason why the Blues did this is open up their salary cap
To
because now
keep
they
Peter.
because now they have 4 million less, everything like that. The chance to send like from is it Frank Cervelli or Civelli, the news the reporter
Oh, I don't.
Frank Civelli, I believe. He mentioned the chance now with Pedro Jello are still 50-50.
Man, I think you got to watch out for Toronto. I think you got to
Well,
watch out for. You don't think Peter Angelo go to Toronto?
no,
He,
this is no.
he
I'll be
he's the type of guy. He like those guys are buddies, and he wants to play. He loves Toronto, so that's they're gonna. I think they make an offer for him if he's a UFA, and I think he seriously considers it.
now listening
One that's
also
but
listening
Vancouver is interesting.
listening TSN yesterday. Um, I don't remember who it was, but which show it was. Um, we were on this on the targeting about the contract
Hmm.
and the longevity. The only thing they said, the three guys said they don't offer any more 8 years contract.
Nobody's gonna offer eight
They don't
years.
offer this anymore, and that they expect for the next
Too
five
risky.
years, NHL not going to increase their salary cap.
Probably not,
They want
because they're
that.
gonna lose money this year and next year.
Yeah, so they don't expect that. So they said what happening now, they will not offer anything over 7 years
I
at
believe
that
it. You're
moment
gonna
over
see a
there.
lot of 4 and 5 year
Now
contracts.
they will say, okay, because now he said he will lose money about that part, but how much they get. They expect he will figure out what Roman Hosey got from Nashville at 9.5.
He's gonna get at least that.
Then they expect it will always depends on two
Wait, you're
things.
saying that Roman Yossi signed for 9.5 or is going to?
He did.
Yeah. Okay. Like Peter Angelo is at least that level, but probably, in my opinion, he's a 10-11. But he's the type of guy where he would take a short-term deal to play with his buddies and try and win a championship. Him and
So
Taylor Hall, like there's something, but like I said, both of those guys, like my knowledge of both those guys from like is that those are the type of players that would do that.
they believe they would not get what Ozzy got. They believe they would get maybe $9 million.
Really?
That's what they said, and then they would maybe get now the 7 years. If you go 6 years, they expect now
Oh,
a little bit more. But they will expect about, like
I
we
can see
said,
that.
remember we said 56 million to
Yeah,
64 millions.
yeah. That makes sense.
Or it will maybe go 8 years, but 8 millions.
I don't 64 mil over 8 years. Like
Because he's
he's
30
not gonna,
years old, right?
yeah, he's I mean that would I would go 7 years max with him. I think that though I could see him going 2 years for like 20 mil.
Exactly. So we'll see about that. Honestly, that's really that's one over there. They talk about this yesterday. If we go to go, if you don't mind to go, not right now, but later during the day, we go to go through Toronto. All their salary cap. I work on the notes here. I will show you. We will maybe do like a
A
5, 7,
mess.
8 minute today about Toronto and maybe check their club farm, and see what happened over there. So, anything to add? We hit almost the 1 hour already, and I
Nope.
think it was a
So
great discussion today about the game tonight. Just come back and finish the show with that way. What do you think again? Islanders versus Philadelphia.
if Barzell is out, which I think he'll play, but if he is out, then I give it to Philadelphia. I think Vegas finishes it off tonight.
I go with Islanders tonight. That's it. And
No matter
Vegas.
what.
That's it. Vancouver and
I'm going with Carter Hart then. I
Vancouver
trust
and
Carter.
Vegas.
Yeah, Vegas. Yeah.
Yeah.
If Vegas plays like anything like they did last game, they're gonna break through and win.
It's the game number 6, right? So they play 5 games. It's 3-2. I really believe Vancouver should not win 2 games right now. They should
No,
win only 1 game,
they stole
and
that
the
last.
series should be already over. Now, I don't believe Demko is going to do a back-to-back more game like he did. Again, we never know. I just feel like Vegas has so much talent, back to back to back to
There's
back,
just
and
so
they're
much depth and intensity on that team, and they've got that it factor. Like I gotta believe they finish it.
I hope, it's just all about prediction, but if we go all the way, Vegas, Tampa, I hope Kucherov and Stamkos will be back in the lineup. So it would be like two great
Yeah.
teams. Um,
Well, we said
Stamkos
this
now,
before, right? I think
Stamkos, Stamkos is now go on the possibility at 80% back on the playoff this year.
that's a. I don't know. We'll see. That's a tough injury, man. That's an ab surgery.
But again, I would take Stamkos 50% and put him on power play.
Yeah, tough call. We'll see.
One thing I want to finish this way, I would check a lot Tampa because I'm really fans of his power play, so I study a lot them. Why they put Sergachev on the PP1 versus Edmund, and they bring Edmund on the PP2? Is it because one is right and one is left?
Yeah, I think you got to look at the forwards and understand because
They play four, four, four,
everything's usually
four
very set.
forward, one D on the PP1.
Yeah. So I guess you look at the shots of the forwards and understand because you watch it. So there's probably a very consistent pattern of where the puck's moving and what they're looking for. So they're probably moving it from top to wing, like are they an umbrella type setup? I've never watched them,
Yeah,
but
they play on the umbrella. But the second thing is because Stanko is not there, right?
yeah,
So they have to use a left on the right side.
that's what I was gonna say. They have one timer shot
So
though,
they don't use that one timer now because Stanko is not there.
huh?
And they
Yeah,
keep
so they're probably
Kucherov,
looking for
they
a
keep
collapse and then a
Kucherov
shot.
on the left side, and they shift sometimes point and the middle right there. So it's
So
different. It's a
think about it.
difference.
If you put out your best PK group and they're facing Sergachev, and then your second PK group is facing Hedman, you have an advantage if you're Tampa. So that's a possibility too.
Yeah, again, I'm not
I
saying
don't know.
that.
I'm
You
guessing,
know what I
but
mean? I don't say that it's wrong here. I just like
no, I'm just guessing
it
why.
does show a lot what they have, and you know what I mean. Like they play forward, four forward. That's Cooper's style, and I
I
can,
hate that.
you know what I
I
mean.
hate that.
You know what I mean. And PP2, I we said to you, I don't think so. He's a great defenseman. I think Shattenkirk On power play, he bring a lot more what I expect for
Sure,
now.
he's
He
a
played very
veteran.
well the last couple of the games for Tampa on the
Yeah,
power play, everything like that. And it's a great. He was a great defenseman a couple years ago, Sheldon Kirk in the NHL.
he's a good number two, three that can get you 40, 50 points on the right situation. He's got some offense. Like he can
I don't
play.
want to open up the door here because we have to go. But
Yeah, sorry.
yesterday they're talking about Florida trade Aaron Eggblend to Toronto.
Why the anybody? Why would you trade Aaron Ekblad?
It's just because in Toronto they have a TV a radio show where they always talking about Toronto 1 hour about what they can do, what they can trade, what they can if there was Kyle Dubas, what they will do, and they take one team at a time. That's the show there. I don't see Florida there. I can be right now. Bill Zito wake up this morning. So oh my God,
I'm going to trade
look.
Aaron Ekblad.
So I'm going to bring to you tomorrow is Friday. Maybe try to get that show. I want to show you now the what's going on with Florida, and I will go to maybe a segment, and we'll start the next couple of days to do more segment at 10, 15 minutes on
Okay.
certain teams, certain subject, and I want you to become now the expert out about junior Canadian hockey junior for people talking
I'll have
about
to
the
work on
WHL. The next couple, one day we'll be back on the ice, everything like that. We want to talk about junior. I think
it.
it'll
Yeah.
be good. That will prepare the draft, everything.
Well,
So
I have to look up the Q thing because that's really weird because as far as I know, CHL is not holding training camps, but maybe it's league by league,
I
you
will
know?
bring to you this for you. I will go back. I was on ADS when I got that one over there. So let me check tomorrow, and I will
I
go
mean,
back
they're
to
going to
you.
do their own thing, but that seems crazy. It says they're going to play October 1st.
Yep,
Good. Do it.
exactly.
All
All
right.
right.
So are they playing in front of fans?
I think they have an expectation to drop the number. I think they have another league talk about this also. They cannot. Oh, it was on another sport. They was thinking about drop the offense. Oh, it was football. I'm sorry.
I think in like here in the States, the problem is you couldn't put more than 50% of your capacity if you could do it at all.
Yeah.
So most like okay, like let's look at my cousin's team Saginaw. They only get 3,500 people a game, and they kind of I think they're like a break even type operation, right? So if you have 1,700, you're losing 1,700,000.
I know. Everybody's going to be struggle for the. But again, we have to go through this. We're going to go through this. We're going to get better and be ready for the next couple of year after that. And
Excited.
see, see stay positive about what's going on here. So thanks again, everybody, all the Hockey Nation fans. We thank you again to watching us and listening to us. And please leave comments. We want you to join the conversation. Join us
Invite,
live. We would love to have you here. Why
invite.
not? Give us your expertise. We are not expert NHL. We're just two guys love the game, passion. We share our ideas, what we love, and then we would love to have you with us. So thanks, Michael, again for another great hockey day tonight. Two game, and I look forward to see you tomorrow. Have a great night, great day, everybody. Have a good one.
Yeah, thanks everybody.
Yep.